I have received a question from one of the members who comes to my weekly group in London. I'm going to read the question and answer it. It would be great, Sabbir, if you could ever do a video on spiritual survival skills in the workplace. You touch on this in the Glimpsing High Spiritual States video of 5th of August, but it would be great to develop these ideas. It would be great to develop these ideas on a separate video. Peace to you. This could include how to concentrate on tasks amidst incessant small talk and noise. Well, if you're doing a task, the way not to be distracted by noise is to do various things. One can do some self-inquiry as Muji would do it. So sometimes take time to see what is witnessing noise in the background. So maybe there's all kinds of things going on in the office background. You then practice what is observing or what's witnessing these noises. Or if it seems like I am listening to these noises and they're distracting me, what is the I and what is witnessing or observing this I? And therefore you'll find that the noises will start to recede due to lessening the identification with those noises and also reducing the sense of the ego I by using the ego I as if it was an object to see what's observing that, and that will help to release all the ego identifications, especially with noise in the surrounding environment. The next question, how to cope spending hours around people who have done no spiritual work? Well, people who have done no spiritual work, so if you're in a work environment and you're, as I know this person is doing advanced spiritual practice and are reaching quite high states, the only reason that people around in the workplace are still creating some kind of distress or stress is because there's still some kind of identification, there's still some kind of meaning that's been projected onto these people. Otherwise it wouldn't really matter what they said to you or what was the consequences of your replies. So one way to release this habitual identification, the only reason they're disturbing is because they have projected meaning or they're special. So again, self-inquiry can be used with these individuals. Both self-inquiry can be used while they're talking to you, and also you can just conjure up an image of them and inquire into what is finding a reaction when you think about them. So how you do this is like if you see them and say fear comes up or a critical voice comes up, you don't like them, then you all of this are just you'd see again like objects or different types of phenomena in consciousness, and you just ask what is observing or what is witnessing these aspects which are arising in consciousness, and is there a detached witnessing or observer of these phenomena. And as you keep doing this process experientially, you'll find that they tend to bug you less and less the more you do the self-inquiry. There'll be various segments, maybe some people it's their voice or their words or their facial expressions. Again, if something is hooking into that, then just go to the observer or the witnesser of whatever is being identified, and you'll start to detach. The next one is how to stay detached without being seen not to be a team player, letting go of peer pressure expectation to join in. Again, if people are coming around to you and asking you to join in or participate with them, then you can apply self-inquiry. If you have to join in with them, you can be applying it even while you're talking. So something is disturbed, but as you're replying, something is witnessing the disturbance. So gradually through these interactions, they become less and less, they less and less annoy you, because there's less and less identification with those bits which seemed to annoy you before but no longer annoy you. And being okay with being different. Well, the only thing that is finding it difficult to be different is when there's some form of identification in consciousness. For example, the ego is feeling upset that it doesn't fit in, or is getting reactions of not fitting in with others. You know, if everyone's talking about football and there's no interest in football, maybe people look disappointed. But then again, this disappointment can be used, what's observing the disappointment? What's observing the internal reaction to the disappointment? And so you go to the observation of that. And then as you keep going to the observer, or the detached observer of the phenomena, then these phenomena in future become less and less a problem. How to quieten the ego around performance-related self-worth, good or bad? Well, again, performance-related self-worth, say you get a feedback report, you're doing good or you're doing bad, or you have your own internal dialogue. I think I'm doing good today, or I think I'm doing bad. They're all different types of phenomena, and if there's a hooking in, and from what you've written, the ego is like hooking into this phenomena, either your internal dialogue or feedback from the world, then you again ask what's observing that feedback. What is there a disidentified observer or witnesser of this feedback? Or it seems like I am upset by this. Well, if it's an emotion or if it's some thoughts, what's witnessing these thoughts? Is there a detached witnesser of these thoughts? Experientially, you apply these contemplations, and then you'll start to release those layers that can get hooked into either your internal dialogue, feelings, or external phenomena. Doing self-inquiry, prayer, meditation in the breaks to get a divine connection back in gratitude to you. Well, yes, in the breaks, if you're alone, or I always say to people, if you can't escape people, you can always do your self-inquiry or prayer breaks in the toilet for a few minutes. But again, just apply the self-inquiry process. If there's any form of agitation within consciousness, agitated feelings, thoughts, see what's witnessing these thoughts. Or if it seems like something's coming up, like I can't detach, or whatever this I is, what's witnessing this I. So you can do this. Also, you can do lesson 14 from A Course in Miracles. God did not create whatever the problem is, so it's not real. Or I cancel my belief in whatever the problem is not real. So, for example, if it could be like God did not create a noisy environment, so it's not real. God did not create distracting noises, so it's not real. Or I cancel my belief in distracting noises. I'm an infinite being subject only to what I hold in mind. So you can apply those on a regular basis, and they will also help to eliminate those phenomena from reoccurring in consciousness or having an effect. I cancel my belief I'm not a team player. I'm an infinite being subject only to what I hold in mind. I cancel my belief that there are expectations of others. I'm an infinite being subject only to what I hold in mind. I cancel my belief I'm different from others. I'm an infinite being subject only to what I hold in mind. I cancel my belief in performance anxiety. I'm an infinite being subject only to what I hold in mind. So those are some of the things I would be doing, both the cancelling of beliefs, or God did not create it, so it's not real, plus investigating within your own consciousness those aspects which seem to be triggered, and going to the observer of that, and the detached observer of that. And then eventually those things that get hooked into the world will start to quieten down. Hope you find that helpful.